Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rambling RunOff. I am your host, Robert Rios, once again coming to you live from undisclosed location. But yes, we are here again at Rambling RunOff, here to give you the sports news that you need to hear. And today we have a very, very, very special episode for you here today, as I have a very special guest host who's ready to ramble and run on forever with all of you today. And his name is Alex. He also runs a great podcast called Alvaro and End Zone. He covers NFL, basketball, well, you name it. He also loves some college football as well in there. But yeah, Alex, would you mind introducing yourself really quick, man?
Hello, I'm Alex. I also have a podcast called Alvaro and End Zone. And we're mainly, right now, we're covering the NFL and some college football. Think about doing some MLM when the season starts. And, in the past, we've done some USFL. We might also do some XFL this year. But we've also done, some college basketball and pro basketball as well.
No, yeah, dude, that sounds great. I'm really excited to have you on here today. If you guys have a chance, go check out Alex's podcast. It's great. I listened to it multiple times. It's a great listen. So yeah, go check him out. Alex, would you mind telling something a little outside of your podcast? Would you mind telling people a little bit about yourself as well?
Yeah. So I go to Bowling Green University, which is in Ohio, Northwest Ohio. It's pretty close to Toledo. It's like an hour 20 from like Detroit for a bigger city reference. Also, I like the Steelers for football, Cavs for basketball, Guardians for baseball, Crew for MLS soccer. That's about it. Also, I live in Cleveland too.
A true Midwestern, if I may say so myself, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, that's sick, dude. But yeah, Alex, I keep saying this wrong. Rowley, right?
Yeah.
There you go, Alex Rowley. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Earlier I was saying like Rowley. I'm like, it's not Rowley. I don't want to screw that up. But yeah, Alex, thanks for stopping by today to ramble with us. For today's topics that we got on our list, we're gonna be talking. I know it's a little bit late, but it's still buzzing. It's still something that I myself, and I know you also enjoy watching some soccer. We're going to be talking the World Cup, of course. We're going into some NFL. I know that's Alex's specialty. And then we're going to go into some, I guess, memory lane. It's the holidays for the warm-up. I just want to see, I think we've talked about it once before, just talking about what our favorite sports memories have been over the years. And then, of course, a rundown. We got a bunch of stuff, so stick around and see what we got on tap. You feel me? How's that sound, everybody? How's that sound, Alex?
Oh, we're just going to be hanging out.
Well, alrighty then. All right. I guess let's get this show on the road. For our first sports topic on Rambling RunOff this week, we have the World Cup, which I don't know about you, Alex. I had to wake up a little bit early for this game. So to wake up to watch Argentina versus France, I had to wake up at 6 a.m. here on the West Coast. And yeah, what a hell of a game it was, dude. Like, I want to keep saying every time I see a soccer match of this, like, intensity, there's always something that overcomes it or outbeats it. Because this Argentina-France matchup in the final, the World Cup in Qatar, was just something out of this world. Unless you've been living under a rock, Argentina defeated France 4-2 in penalties. They tied 3-3 in regulation and in extra time, in which Argentina are your 2022 World Cup Qatar winners. Yeah. Alex, what do you think about this matchup that we had here in the World Cup this year?
Well, just to start off, I don't think you can really ask for a better final, game. Obviously, 3-3 went to pens. Also, it was good because I did pick Argentina at the very beginning as my pick to win. So, and then also just jumping a little ahead, it was Messi's first World Cup and only World Cup victory. So
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, he had that chance in the 2014 final where they went up against Germany, and everyone thought, oh, that was it. He squandered his only chance because it is true what they say: when Argentina loses, no, no, crap. I'm saying it backwards. One of those two. Basically, if Argentina plays like crap, Messi played like crap because everything was always on his shoulders. In which I want to say I beg to differ this time, because like for me, similar to what you said, yeah, I had them as my pick. But I had them as my underdog pick, because like I said right now, like if Messi's not playing good, Argentina's not playing good. So I feel like a lot of people wanted to underestimate him, but at the same time, it was like, including this other guy, Ronaldo. It was his last World Cup. It was Messi's last World Cup. So there was a lot on the line, like, during this time period of the World Cup. You feel me?
Yeah, I think Messi really showed off. And jumping a little more ahead, I do think he's the best soccer player in the world right now, beating out Ronaldo. So
He's the GOAT.
yeah, I would classify him as the GOAT right now. Just because Ronaldo hasn't won a World Cup and Messi has now. I would like to be interested. What do you think about the rumors that he might go to Inter Miami? I've heard it a couple times now.
Well, during the World Cup, it was for some reason going around. Even before this, it was that rumor was swirling around. And during one of the games, they're like, "Oh, Messi verbally agrees to go to Inter Miami after the World Cup." And it's like, whoa, how's he doing all this? Like, well, obviously he has agents and managers, but it's like, okay, is this real for this time, or is it just still a bunch of mumbo jumbo? You feel me? Um, if it is true, I mean, it'd be great for the MLS. You have the GOAT. You have a guy that's won a World Cup. You have someone that's like seen as a god in Argentina now, basically. Coming to your country, coming to your league, coming to your sport here. Like, dude, like it'd be insane. I mean, it is insane just to think about like Messi coming to the United States to play Miami, David Beckham's team. Like, come on, you can't even write, bro. You can never write anything like that better.
Yeah, I think it would be a good team for him to go to too, judging just by their fan base there.
No, yeah, it'd be great. But first off, let me ask you this. Did you think the game was over when it was 2-0?
I kind of did just looking at the scoreline, because I was maybe just 2-0 is a kind of big comeback to come back from, especially because they scored it pretty early. But also, just being a Columbus Crew fan, especially last season, knowing that they got up a lot early, and then it just kind of happens in sports and especially soccer, where you kind of let off the gas a little, play a little more defense, and then it's kind of easy to slip through a lead. That happened a lot for the Crew last year. So
Oh no, yeah, I think what is it? 2-0 is the most deadliest lead in all of soccer. And I just had that feeling. I was like, damn it. Like once Di Maria scored that second one, I was like, you guys need to score a third one because you guys already shit the bed against the Netherlands. Like, don't do it again. And of course, gosh damn it. What was it? Here I have it written down here about the 80th minute. They pissed it all away, bro. They pissed it all away. They get the handball call, and Mbappe puts it in the back of the net. And then what, like a minute later, Mbappe again, Mbappe. And like how you said, you can't have a greater final. Like how, here's, I'll just go off a little bit of a tangent. My pet peeve in sports, whenever they're trying to promote a game, is when they post like two players, one from each team, and it's usually like the most popular or the best player on the team, right? And like, I don't know, let's say like fucking LeBron versus Steph Curry, right? Let's say LeBron's out, Curry's only playing off the bench, and it's like, okay, like why are you guys putting them on the poster if A, one guy's hurt, and B, the other guy's barely playing? Like, you're just doing it because That's what gets people to come to the game, or they do play and they just have underwhelming games. This was the total polar opposite of that. You had two of the best teams in the world playing. You had two of the best players in the world playing. And guess what? They showed up and they showed out, and that's the only thing you could ever ask for in the game of this magnitude, which is just French kisses, bro. Like you couldn't ask for anything better or greater than this, in my opinion. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, World Cup penalties. You can't get more suspenseful from that. It's basically like a game 7. So, and I'll go back to what you're saying earlier. Seems like it's always when it's like 2-0. They always score like past the 80th minute. It's never like you tied up from 50 to 70 minutes. It's always at the end they make their comeback. So.
No, I mean, because what it is, the other team will be like, oh, like, we're kind of chilling, we're good, and it's like, bam, you get hit in the face, you get, bam, right in the kisser. It's like, it comes out of nowhere. And this is kind of what it felt like, because after that, I was just, like, shaking, bro. And I even wrote this down in my notes. Once Mbappe made that first penalty on the Fox broadcast, they showed Di Maria's face, because he had just gotten subbed out. And, dude, I could see in his eyes, I shit you not, he knew it was coming. He was like, oh no. He's like, they smell blood in the water. And I think he knew they were screwed. He's like, we're going to do this whole entire thing over again. They're going to tie, and we're going to be in for a brawl. And that's what happened. It was just one big crapshoot right after that. But, I mean, like, we've been saying this whole time, like, it was one hell of a game. You couldn't ask for more. It goes into penalties, which I know some people feel indifferent about penalties, but nothing's more nerve-wracking than a 50-50 chance. You feel me? I mean, I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah,
Is there anything?
I like the penalty.
What you got?
Penalty format, I think, especially because it's kind of unique to soccer. I mean, they do have it in hockey too, but I think soccer really invented it. And then just go back where you were saying, that's kind of like reverse LeBron face, reverse Kobe face, and then also it was like a reverse Atlanta Falcons where they blew the lead, but still won it at the end. So.
Oh my gosh. Did you just go there? You just went there. You just went there. But yeah, going on for just describe the rest of the game, going into the OT, it did kind of slow down. The pace of the game significantly slowed down. I think just due to the fact that these guys were just super duper tired. And yeah, it was like a nail biter, because then you get the goal from Messi, which it was a counter. Messi in the front of the goal gets deflected out. People are just like, did it go in? Did not go in? Well, surprise, it went in. And then a couple minutes later, Mbappe ties up the game again. It was another handball, which, I mean, I guess for a split second I thought it wasn't a handball from the first camera angle that they showed, and the second one, okay, I don't know, it kind of hits the top of the elbow for me at least, which I would have been like, that's not a pen, but hey, it's the laws of soccer. I'm not gonna argue with it. Whatever. Mbappe puts that one in the back of the net, and then, damn it, who's the name of the other dude? I can't believe I didn't write this down, but there's that chance right before the end of OT. I think his name is Dembele. I forgot his name, but it was that chance that Martinez saved with his left foot. Like, dude, that was, if you went, I mean, obviously, if you wouldn't have saved that would have been it. Because it was kind of like Bo Jackson running out of nowhere, making something out of nothing. Like, it was a something out of a nothing shot. And he made it important because it was the most important save of the game. I would say more important than any penalty block that Martinez made in the penalty shootout. Because if not, that would have been it, Yeah. But yeah, dude, one hell of a game. You had plays on both ends of the field.
just to wrap it up, you got the best players playing their best games on the biggest stage. Messi with the 2 goals and Mbappe with the 3 goals. So,
Dude, that's another thing. That's that's freaking. I'm glad you brought that up because that's like there's the headliner and then there's the subheading, which is Mbappe with a fucking hat trick in a World Cup final. I mean, granted, 2 of them were penalties, but that second goal, dude, that's just a masterpiece of a goal. Like you could not, dude. I don't know. I'm just even that's why I want to talk about this though, because I'm still just like lost for words on what transpired at 6-9 in the morning. Like, bruh. Well, I mean, for you, what it was like 1-3 in the afternoon.
yeah.
Lucky, because what you had to wake up like at 9 a.m. right? 9:30.
Yeah.
You lucky son of a gun. But yeah, just to go over some things within the game as well. That France's first half in the game was abysmal. It was I have to forget because they never stood a chance. They never developed anything. They subbed off one of their right backs or their wingers. They subbed off Giroud, who was non-existent. For possession overall, France had a total of 46% possession to Argentina's 54, which more or less is true. I would say though, maybe I would say controversially, I would say France's chances were a little bit better once they started getting the ball and like developing plays. Argentina's were on counters, especially that second goal by Di Maria, which started with Messi, a flick, then a flick. And I was just screaming at the TV. I was like, bro, look to your left. Di Maria's open. And bam, Di Maria with the left foot shot in the back of the net, 2-0. But yeah, at that point, I was like, this game's not over. But yeah, I think that's mostly it for the World Cup. Where do we go from here now with the World Cup? Are you excited for 2026 now?
Yeah, just judging off the U.S. team, we had a pretty good showing just because I don't think that many analysts thought we were going to make it out of the group stage. And, we had the youngest World Cup team in the competition. So, you give them 4 more years to develop, we should probably go farther than 16. So, and I mean, it does set expectations though. As obviously we didn't qualify for the last World Cup, so it was like, well, whatever we get for this World Cup is fine. But I think they will measure up to the expectations once 2026 comes around.
No, yeah, I mean, in regards to not just the U.S. men's national team, but overall as a World Cup in 4 years when it comes here to the U.S., I'm hoping for a good showing. Yeah, like how you said with the U.S. men's team, we didn't qualify, so whatever happened, I was happy with. I just didn't want to go out there and have them look stupid, because then like all that hard work would have been for nothing. Like all this time, we got a new coach, got like basically a whole new brand new team. Yeah, like I said, they're all young. I think we had the youngest captain out there with Tyler Adams. So I thought it was a great showing. I believe it was a good showcase in regards to football, in regards to soccer, to show the rest of the world that hey, the United States is back. It's new and improved. Watch out for 2026. It is going to be in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, which is going to be interesting because I think that's what FIFA really wants right now. They want more of just more collaborative work to show, I guess, peace in the world. I guess you could say, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm excited. This World Cup's got me excited. I think this World Cup's gotten a lot of Americans excited, considering, I mean, I think you could agree that soccer is probably the 5th, maybe even the 6th most popular sport in the U.S. But yeah, I think it's got a lot of people excited. It's got a lot of people motivated. So who knows? Maybe we might have the next breakout star in the next 4 years play for the U.S. in the World Cup here.
Yeah, it's definitely trending in the upward direction in America. So I think Atlanta in 2026 will have the best atmosphere because they get a lot of people going to the Atlanta United games. So
That's true, but you gotta watch out down there in Dallas. I know FC Dallas and Houston and even Austin, a little far ways from Arlington, I believe. I'm not sure my Texas geography is that good, but you gotta watch out down there in Jerry's World. They're gonna be renovating the stadium. They're gonna make it a little more soccer football friendly. So we gotta see what they got going down there at was it AT&T Stadium, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and then I'm hoping SoFi has a good showing as well. Cause I mean I'm out here in California, so I'm trying to see if I could go to a game, check it out. Cause how many times are you gonna say you get to go to a World Cup? You feel me? I mean, you can always go to a World Cup, but hey, it's in your neighborhood, kinda. So you might as well go check it out. You feel me?
any chance to show off SoFi, they're gonna want to show off SoFi. So
I mean, of course, they already had a showcase games there in which, technically speaking, apparently there was more people there than at the Super Bowl. So it's not like there's people that don't like soccer. I mean, there's a lot of as someone that lives here, there are a lot of Hispanics, there's a lot of Mexicans. I mean, there's a lot of people that just love football here. So of course they're gonna show up and show out for whatever sporting event that that relates to football and soccer here. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure in other places as well, the US is a very touristy place to come. We're gonna get tons of people. I believe in 1994, when they had it here in the US, it was like one of the most like attended World Cups, and you had the FIFA president and Qatar representative saying that, oh, this was the best World Cup. Oh, buddy, you guys are in for a treat. I feel it. I feel it, bro. I don't know. Do you feel it, Alex?
yeah,
You got that football, soccer blood running through your veins, bro?
it'll be fun.
Dude, I'm like getting excited just thinking about it, Loki. Dude, I'm just sitting here getting excited, and it's not even until another 4 years. I'm just super, super ecstatic for it. Because, bro, imagine if the U.S. plays like really good, especially because it's gonna be an expanded, not expanded expanded format technically, because they're gonna add like 20 more teams or whatever the number is now. So it's gonna be interesting because supposedly it's gonna be, I think, 18 groups of 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm expecting a good U.S. performance by then, just judging off what we saw this World Cup. So
No, yeah. So fingers crossed that the U.S. does well. Hopefully the environment here by the time 2026 rolls around is at tip top shape, because I'm pretty sure everyone is gonna want to jump onto that soccer bandwagon and be, oh yeah, I love the Seattle Sounders. I'm like, bro, you've been living in Seattle for like 10 years. You feel me? Like there's gonna be those types of people out there. You feel me? Like they're just gonna jump onto the bandwagon. But
yeah,
hey, it is what it is. Me and you both already like soccer, so we don't gotta worry about that shit. But it's all good in the hood now, you know? But in regards back to the World Cup final, is there anything else you'd like to add? Or you're good, you're chilling?
I'll add that. I mean, it's kind of something that was almost only really specific for soccer, or at least in importance. But at least as of right now, Mbappe and Messi both play for the same club team in PSG. So that's kind of interesting too.
That is you are correct. That is going to be a very interesting how would you say reunion in France when they head back to their club team. Whenever Messi comes back, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be in Argentina for the next month at least.
Yeah.
Just parading around. And I mean, just really quick, did you see like there's at least 4 million people up in that bitch running around, like celebrating? Like, dude, it's insane. But I digress. If that's all you got in regards to the World Cup, are you ready to move on and rambling runoff showcase here today?
Yeah.
All right, for sure, man. We're gonna go into from my football to your football, a little bit your neck of the woods. We're gonna be talking about some NFL news today, and I think it was a pretty interesting. I think it was a good showing this past weekend. I feel like we had a lot of good games over the Christmas break. Well, for me, Christmas break, but I feel like there was no underwhelming games considering now we're in like I guess you could say, well, we've been in the playoff push for quite some time now. But Alex, since I would say you probably know a little bit more about NFL than I do. What what would you say has been the most interesting? What was the most interesting thing this past weekend from the games?
Before we start on that, I think the last couple weeks of NFL games have been hitting. There's been about 6 good games every week. But jumping into this week, as a Steelers fan, I like the fact that they won on Christmas Eve 13-10, and then the Saints beat the Browns 17-10.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I liked what I saw. You still had Gardner Minshew start for the Eagles. That was a really good game. Cowboys ended up winning 40-34. Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy still rolling with that team. They're 8-0 since trading for McCaffrey. So there's that. Lions put up a dud, which is unfortunate for them. They had been rolling though. And then
I know everyone's been really hyped on the Lions. That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah, and then even Thursday, one of my hype teams too, Jacksonville, it looks like they'll make the playoffs now after the Titans are still in contention, but they're basically out of contention how they've been playing lately. So
Yeah, because I think they're on the bubble. Yeah. Oh no, they're in the hunt, but they're like on the bubble, like towards the bottom. They're like with the Raiders and the Steelers, in my opinion. It's like you guys are in the race, but not really. You feel me?
yeah,
Like
because
just based off of performance.
all Jacksonville has to do is win out. So and they play Texans and then they play the Titans. So and they're better than the Titans as of right now, especially because Titans have Malik Willis starting. So it'll be fun to see Jacksonville make the playoffs again. I'm gonna say they are as of right now. So
Bro, if Jacksonville makes the playoffs, it'd be a damn miracle. Like what happened with Meyer and you know, with all the shenanigans going on with their QB, it's like, hello? It's like where was this like a couple years ago when you guys actually had like a coach with a resume who knew how to win, you know? I mean, he pissed it all away himself, but I feel like it was a very bad look for the organization as a whole. So going into the playoffs would be like an amazing achievement for them, in my opinion.
yeah, especially also I'll say this year's playoffs, there's a lot of new teams, or at least there still are. Um, Especially if Jets could sneak in. I don't know if they will, but at one point they were in the playoffs. But you still, as of right now, Dolphins may fall out of it because they haven't been playing that well. But as of now, they're still in. But Chargers clinched first time since 2018. As of now, you also got Jacksonville in it. And then for the other league, obviously the Eagles haven't really been relevant since the double doink game, and that so they're definitely a surprising team, but they're a new team around the playoffs relatively, and the Vikings are really a new team as well. San Francisco's obviously been in it for a while now, but they have Mr. Irrelevant, so it'll be interesting to see what he does in the playoffs.
Who would have thought that backup was going to carry them low key?
Yeah, unfortunately, Tommy might make it, even though they have a weak, resume. But he does make the playoffs more interesting, him being in there. And then Cowboys will make it, so it'll be interesting if they can finally win a playoff game. And then Giants and Commanders haven't really made it in a while either, so there's some new teams around it. And then we'll see if Seattle and Detroit end up making it as well. So, I just like that there's some more teams rather than the traditional powers this year.
No, yeah, I mean, you see my notes that we have right here, like was like a shit ton of team 1, 2, 3, 4. I, it's like more than a handful of teams are still in the race somehow. Um, right now for me, I think like the contenders for me in regards to like what's like available to be, to get into the playoffs, it's gonna come down to the Bucks and the Saints and the NFC South. Um, I don't see Washington making it. The Giants have a good chance. They've been up and down all season. The Dolphins, who have a great quarterback with Tua Tagovailoa. Ugh, fuck, damn it, Tua. He's going by Tua. With Tua, who by the way got gypped on that Pro Bowl selection. By the way, um, the Jets, same thing. Another mystery team. I feel like who have been up and down the ladder this season. And then that's it. And then the Lions, I guess, as my secret wild card because everyone's been hyped on the Lions. I don't know why, which is weird, which is coincidental. Fun fact: that's where Alvaro Endzone stems from. Correct?
Yeah, I like the Steelers. So, yeah, from Cleveland, and I hate the Browns, so that's fun.
You hate the Browns. And you're
Yeah,
from Ohio. Why?
I like the Steelers because my dad was originally from Pittsburgh, so
Oh, that's sick. I mean, if you have to know, I'm a loyal New Orleans Saints fan. No connection though.
I mean,
Except at the time, my favorite player was Reggie Bush, and he was there for a while. So that's how I got into the Saints.
there you go. But
That's my only connection. But what you got?
if you're looking at the games this week, let's see. Tampa, Carolina, that's actually a pretty big game because both are still in the race for the division. Pittsburgh, Baltimore is still pretty big. Pittsburgh might be eliminated by that time of the game, but as of right now, they're still in it. Minnesota and Green Bay, that'll also be a big game, and it's kind of a rivalry in itself. Seattle, New York are both fighting for playoff positions. Jacksonville needs to beat Houston, who actually has been playing pretty good, but that's not really a big game in itself. Miami and New England, both teams are still fighting for the playoffs there too. And then, really the best game is probably going to be the Monday night game between Buffalo and Cincinnati.
I mean, would you say Buffalo and Cincinnati are somewhat of a rival now, considering they've kind of clashed a bunch of times in the playoffs the past couple of years now?
Yeah, I think especially if they play each other in the playoffs this year, it would be a really good game. I don't know if they will. Just depends how the brackets go. But I think they're both probably rightfully so see themselves on the same level as each other because they're pretty much both in the contenders category. So
No, yeah, I feel you. For me, I think that Packers Vikings game is very important. I've kind of been following here and there with the whole Aaron Rodgers versus Green Bay Packers situation. I mean, like how you said, like there's a lot of teams still in contention, and that's only because a lot of like the what would you say conference or division leaders have bad records. So that's the only reason why these other teams are still in contention. Like you have the teams like the Packers who are holding on for dear life. Like honestly, I thought they were gonna lose this past weekend. I thought Tua was gonna have the Dolphins march down the field with 2 minutes, bro. 2 minutes. This is what you practice. 2 minute drill. But of course, I mean you saw he was throwing interceptions like Christmas gifts that day and pissed it away for some injuries. And then he explained it in his press conference. He's like, yeah, on the first one, that was a bad throw. The second one, I overthrew it. The third one, I don't know what I was thinking. I just threw the ball. Like, bruh. But that's what I'm saying. The Packers were this close. Very small chance of they were about to be gone, bro. Like, this was it. we're about to go through the whole Aaron Rodgers saga once again. I mean, it's still going on, but even worse than what it is right now. But that's the game important. It's in your division, and the Packers have to win. Because what do you do if you're Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are out of the playoffs? What do you do, bro? What do you do?
I think he'd still stay there, but because I still think he wants to play, and they would definitely have a chance to get a lot better if they could actually bring in some receivers. So I think he'd still stay, but he is getting older in age. So like, I'd give him an opportunity to like give him better receivers and see how he plays. But if he was still bad after that, then I'd try to tell him to go. Especially because I want to see Jordan Love play. So
No, I mean, of course. What they had Adams and they traded him away when this whole time Rodgers has been saying we need we need athletes, we need playmakers off the ball. Like, hello, help me out here. Like, I can't just do this with just an O line because I'm getting old as well. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll always have a good O line. They'll protect them as much as the best of their ability. But at the same time, yeah, like it's 11v11. He's not gonna last forever. So they need to get help in the draft, trades, free agency. Dude, fucking when people try out from the practice team, like something, dude. Cause it's ridiculous. Cause how long has this been going on for? The past like 4 years? Like, dude, it's stupid.
yeah,
And if I was him, I'd be pissed off too. But he's too zen to be like that.
yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, they still should have beat the 49ers last year, but they did not. That game was pretty wild in itself.
And it was won with special teams. Think about it. There was no offense. There was no defense. It was all special team plays. But I digress. Looking at the schedule as well, I would say the Buccaneers Panthers game would be important because I think Carolina is also still in the hunts. Like they're on the bubble, less than the Saints, but because I think what it is, both teams have to win out in order to have a chance. I mean, obviously the Bucks control their destiny a little bit more than the Panthers, but with this win, if let's say the Panthers were the win, they would be the lead dog in the South, and the Saints and the Bucks would be trailing. Um, but basically, no one can lose. 'Cause if they lose, that's it. Especially like the Saints, if they lose, that's it. They're done. Dunzo. They're gone. That's like basically half the teams on this list.
I kind of want, like, even though I don't want the Bucks in, it'd be fun. I guess it'd be funner to see Carolina or New Orleans just because like Tom Brady, but he does make the playoffs better. And I like to have teams in the playoffs that at least have a winning record. So
I mean, you always have that one division that's like lacking. I remember like what was it, 2011? Everyone was making it a big deal when the Seahawks were 7-9 and they're into the playoffs just the fact that they're winning their division. It's like, okay, then what do you want them to do? I mean, obviously they could play better football, but that's just the way it's set up. I feel like it's a perfect system in a way. You get to see who is the better team and who is not. Uh, it's not like yeah they get a home playoff game and a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, but they're the fourth team. They're no better or nor worse than anybody on the playoff bracket. If that does that make any sense?
yeah, that happened to Commanders in 2020. They played a pretty good game against Tampa. It was, and then I know it happened with Carolina 2013 or something. Yeah, They did beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals, whoever their quarterback was, got injured that game. But then they also played a pretty good game against the Seahawks, who would make the Super Bowl that year. So, I mean, even if they're not that good, they still are motivated to play in the playoffs. So, a lot of them have been good games, anyways, or still good showings, even.
Yeah, I feel you. Speaking of the Commanders, you think they beat the Browns this weekend?
I think so. I mean, because they're still motivated for the playoffs. I mean, the Browns are motivated to get a win back since they lost to the Saints, but it's also at FedEx Field, so that gives them an advantage. And the Browns are going through some locker room stuff, and they always have drama, and they just, I just don't see them being motivated enough to win this game, whereas Washington is motivated, and Washington's still a pretty good team, anyways. So I think it'll be a good game, but I'd give it to Washington if I had to bet.
All right, I see you. I see you. Looking at the schedule as well. Dang, I just had it. Why did I click that? I was gonna say the Lions really need to win. They're playing the No, excuse me, the Bears, the Bears, which I believe they're in the same division, correct? The Lions and the Bears.
Yeah, I believe they are. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the Lions are going to be desperate for a win as well. The Bears are 3-12. I remember in the beginning of the season, everyone thought the Bears were turning it around, and then they just went down the worst roller coaster drop of all time, and they're 3-12 now in a hole. Obviously, they're not making playoffs, but it's the Bears and the Lions. I'm pretty sure they want to also play as well, just due to the names on the front of the jersey. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking for the Lions to give a good show.
I think they'll win because they'll be motivated coming off their loss. But they did lose to Panthers, and Bears played pretty well for most of the game against the Bills. So it could be a pretty good game. But I think the Lions will have a good atmosphere too, because it's going to be at Ford Field. So I would look for them to bounce back this week.
Oh yeah. And then one other team that's in the hunt, Saints and the Eagles. Saints, as we mentioned before, it came off that frigid cold weather game. What was it, like 3 degrees in Cleveland?
Yeah.
And it was snowing. There was no one in that stadium. I saw on Twitter, uh, someone said that the tickets were going to like $5, and they're like, "Oh wow, the tickets are cheap. A lot of people are gonna buy that ticket." And then this person also said, and then I saw the weather forecast, and I saw why it was $5. And yeah, like I guessed, there was no one at that stadium. What, there was like a grand total of 500 people at that game, probably.
I never looked at what the attendance actually was. I couldn't go if I wanted
I was just guessing, by the way.
because I had to work from 12 to 4 that day. Not that I would have gone anyways, because the weather was super cold for this past weekend. But I think Gardner. It's hard to say. I think Philly will still win because Gardner Minshew is a pretty good quarterback. But New Orleans has been getting back on the right track, so I think it'll be a good game. I'd still give it the edge to the Eagles just because they're one of the best teams in the NFL right now. So
No, that's true. But yeah, it's gonna be one hell of a fight, in my opinion.
yeah, that'll be a good game.
Just to go over two news things that actually happened this week as of this recording, in regards to the NFL. First off, uh, the Broncos have officially parted ways with their head coach because they suck, and it was pretty bad, bro. This is what happens when you put individuals and personalities in front of the team, and it just boils over and falls apart. So what's his name? Nathaniel Hackett? He's out as Denver's head coach, and yeah, we'll see where they go from here for next season. You have, bro, you have Russ, bro. Like it should not have been that hard. It should not have been that hard to get a winning team going. You feel me?
Yeah, they had high expectations, obviously.
High, dude. They weren't even high expectations. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but dude, their expectations were to the root, no, to the moon, bro. That's how high the expectations were.
It's like they had a bunch of playmakers theoretically, but none of them have been making any plays. So, and then Nathaniel Hackett he's only the fifth coach in NFL history to get fired from his first season before week 18. So the fourth was Urban Meyer last year. So
I'm not surprised. Sounds about right. But yeah, dude, like everyone, I'm pretty sure the Broncos are the most disappointing team of the season. Am I right? Is that a first statement to say?
I try to think of another team, and I can't really. I mean, pretty much. I mean, it has to be them. I think Las Vegas it might be the second one because they made the playoffs and they're
That's
kind of
true.
crap this year. But I don't think anyone can be worse than Denver really. So, and also Arizona to some extent too. But
Yeah, you're right. Cause they went like what 7-0, 8-0 last season, and they just shit the bed halfway through.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, that. You're really smart, bro. That was really well elaborated, bro. Yeah, I would put that in the same order. You said Broncos, Raiders, and the Cards.
yeah,
Yeah, contending. Well, actually, I would switch. No, actually, no. Yeah, we're good. Because yeah, the Broncos are out of the playoffs, and the Cards. No, the Cards are out, and the Raiders, by a minuscule chance, are still in the hunts. But yeah, that's why I'm like, whenever I see the Raiders are still in the hunt, I'm like, you guys have been bad all season. How are you still alive?
yeah. And then maybe Packers fourth if they don't make the playoffs. But also Colts could be fourth too because I thought Matt Ryan would play well for them. Like I thought they'd make the playoffs because I thought Matt Ryan would at least play like a solid veteran, but he was pretty crap. So
I mean, they were getting capped on by I forgot who posted it. Someone posted like a Simpsons meme yesterday. They're like, wow, look at this horse. He's trying so hard. It looks amazing. Too bad the race is over. And it shows another horse in the winner's circle, and it's the Chargers already celebrating. What? The final score was like 20-3. I was like, bro, this game was over like 2 hours ago. But yeah, poor Colts.
yeah,
But yeah, one other last news thing to go over. JJ Watt, I think it's the right Watt. Am I correct? JJ
yeah.
Watt is announcing his retirement at the end of the season. It's been one hell of a ride for that man, in my opinion.
Yeah, we were kind of debating, me and my friends, I guess, if he'll be in the Hall of Fame or not. I think he's kind of a fringe guy, but I think they'll want to put him in. Um, he's been a really good player. I think the only thing that goes against him negatively is that he's been hurt a lot of seasons, and that's probably honestly also prematurely ended his career to some extent too. But I think there's probably worse Hall of Famers in there. I could see him as maybe not a first ballot, but he'll definitely get in there. I think at some point. I think his brother TJ is a Hall of Famer as of right now. Basically because he hasn't really gotten injured except for this year. But I think he has better stats too, just going off of the pacing. But that's kind of not really the point. I think TJ or JJ wants in at some point. So
Well, according to this ESPN article that I'm looking at, he is surely a first ballot Hall of Famer in the 2028 Hall of Fame class. And another thing, I didn't know this. Apparently, he won NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. The other two notable people that have done that were Aaron Donald and Lawrence Taylor. So I think he's in for sure, at least first ballot.
yeah, I'd have to look at some other eligible players for 2022. But
Like you're not convinced, basically.
yeah, I'm a stickler for NFL Hall of Fame because I like their Hall of Fame. It's kind of better than like the NBA because the NBA they just throw anyone in. The
Yeah,
NFL
that's true.
kind of has high standards, but I think he deserves to be in at some point. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made him first ballot, just because he's a good representative of the league too. So
Yeah, especially he spent a lot of time in Houston. What from like 2012 to 2015, he was like the best player, best
yeah,
defensive player in that time, in my opinion.
yeah. So I think he'll get in.
But yeah, cheers to JJ Watt for an amazing career.
Yes, he's even having a pretty good season this year. So
I mean, yeah, I guess you could see though. I mean, he's on a crappy team, unfortunately, but
yeah.
it is what it is, you know. If you like doing what you like doing, then keep doing it. But yes, you have anything else to add in regards to the NFL?
Not so much. I think the Steelers and Ravens game will be good though. Hopefully Steelers won't be eliminated by then. But it's always an intense rivalry. But other than that, we can move on.
All right, then. I like the way you think. And yeah, for this week's warm up topic, we have holiday sports days. So I believe we did this last year as well. But of course, I just wanted to bring it back. You know, it's something different, something new for the show. So yeah, I just want to go over some things with Alex and get to know him a little bit better as well, and in regards to what he remembers or what any favorable moments he's had watching or listening to any sports during the holidays. So Alex, do you have any memories as a kid or recently growing up, like of any sporting event taking place during like Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's, like that you would like to say to the people out there?
Yeah. As for recently, really recently, obviously, Steelers won on Christmas Eve and Browns lost to Saints on Christmas Eve day. And then I'm a Cavs fan, and obviously Cavs and Warriors had a really big stretch of playing on Christmas Day. Cavs in 2017 ended up coming back from like a 14-point deficit in the final moments. They went up by like 6 at the end, or I think it was actually only 3 at the end. But to win that game, Richard Jefferson dunked on Klay Thompson during the comeback stretch of that too, and then Steelers beat the Ravens on Christmas Eve one time too, where Antonio Brown broke 2 tackles, I guess you'd say, while stretching for the goal line for a touchdown. And then there's another one where Steelers beat the Texans too. Steelers have played a couple on Thanksgiving too, which have been hit or miss, I guess.
You're like, we lost those games. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we lost, like one of the years we lost the Ravens, but then another one of the years they beat the Colts, so.
Oh yeah, man. Sounds good. Yeah, for me, growing up as a kid, I remember watching a lot of basketball. I think one of those as a wee child, if my memory is correct, the Lakers played the Heat, and this is right after Shaq left the Lakers and he went to Miami, and like that was like a big like ordeal at the time because like he's leaving the Lakers, he's going to Miami, polar opposite, two different cities, two different teams, polar opposite of the countries, So I remember that was like a big deal because it's Kobe versus Shaq. It's like, well, can Kobe do it by himself? Can Shaq do it by himself? I remember that was like a whole big deal. I remember watching, I guess you can say a lot of football. One memory I have, well, not just watching but playing football as well, like during Thanksgiving. There was one year I didn't break my finger. I bruised my finger playing two-hand touch football with my cousins. Uh, I was playing linebacker and I rushed our QB, and as I was about to like tag him with my two hands, my hand got like into like his like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if you can see on your screen, but like my finger got caught like in the sleeve of his shirt, and as he tried to juke to dodge me, I went one way and he went the other way. Like I said, I didn't break my finger, but like I felt it like hurt like really bad, and I immediately just pulled my hand out of his shirt and noticed that my finger was quickly turning purple. So I ended up like bruising my finger really bad that day. And then as I got home, cause we're at my relative's house, I was like, what do I do? Like my finger hurts, and I was like probably like 12. And mom was like, all right, we're just gonna have to put it in the ice. I was like, what do you mean? It's like 50 degrees outside. I'm not about to put my hand in a damn cup of ice. And he's like, nope, that's the only way to fix it. And yeah, dude, just dunked my whole hand into a cup of ice, bro. That sucked so bad. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think what else I got. I guess this one's a New Year's one. This is like when I started getting into like college football. Oh, by the way, I like USC. uh, and this is gonna hurt me. Um, USC Texas. Oh yeah, in the Rose Bowl championship game. I remember watching, dude. I remember like everything, like the back of my hand, and I was like in first grade, dude, watching it in my living room with my mom and my grandma, just like being like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win," and then like we pissed it all away because Reggie Bush decides to lateral the ball, and then just hearing that call of Vince just running into the end zone, just it still hurts me, bro. It still hurts. It still hurts, man. Just seeing USC lose that type of way on New Year's or whenever that day was, because it's been a while now. But yeah, that's like one memory of mine. I mean, I guess now I can say new ones now because we had the World Cup during the holidays. You know, Black Friday we had the U.S. play England a 0-0 draw, which I know we already covered here on Rambling Runoff. But I got to go to a watch party with. I mean, you guys already heard our constant listeners already know I went with Alondra and a couple other friends of mine to go watch the game at a watch party, and dude, there was hella people there, bro. People were hyped. I mean, it finished a tied 0-0, but it was a good game. England had possession most of the time. Pulisic had that crazy shot off the bar that came out of nowhere. So, I mean, I was content. It kept us in the race for the World Cup. So I was like, hey, it's all good in the hood. So there was nothing to panic about. But yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have like a hella stories, bro. I don't mean to like hog up the time, but Alex, do you have anything else to add on to your memory from your memory bank before I take up all the time and whatnot?
Yeah, one thing. I'll try to make it quick, but also entertaining. I like the Diamond Head Classic college basketball tournament, where it's played in Hawaii at their college basketball stadium. This year it was Washington, Hawaii, Iona, Pepperdine, Seattle, SMU, Utah State, and Washington State. And this year Hawaii won off a buzzer beater to beat. Who did they beat? It was SMU 58-57. That was their first time winning the tournament. And it was a good comeback because the 2021 one got canceled. At least the championship game got canceled. And the day before it was the Hawaii Bowl, which also got canceled. And that one was even worse because Hawaii lobbied for that year. Hawaii lobbied to get in that game. And they didn't even play it. So it was kind of a bounce back Hawaii sports, year, I guess, because they actually successfully ran the events.
That's a good one. That's a good take, bro. I didn't even think of that. They always play that tournament every year, right?
Yeah, since like 2011, I think.
Yeah, it's like a preseason tournament, correct?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't always get to watch college basketball because there's so many games and there's so many teams. Because like I guess it's more accessible. But yeah, like for me, that's a really good take. Because yeah, like they usually show that well on ESPN, right?
Yeah, it's the ESPN network. So.
Yeah, it's like on in the middle of the day. So.
Yeah.
Kind of nice. But yeah, I got another one. And I just lost it. Damn it! I just had one. And it just escaped me. When I started watching, I don't know, for some reason, like around like 2016, I started watching a lot of like Mexican league soccer because they have this there's this guy in the league. His name's I'm forgetting his first name. He goes by Gignac. He's a French player. Plays for Tigres and Monterrey in the Liga MX in the Mexican league. And there was a lot of hype around this guy because, for one, you don't see a lot of Europeans heading down south to Mexico to go play some soccer. And he was a striker, so it's like, all right, well, he's not going to get called up anytime soon, but he's still really good. So he was killing, like kind of like Erling Haaland for Man City, but in the Mexican league, he was just tearing up teams and breaking scoring records. And I think that was the year they're like, oh, they're gonna win it, because I think in the final it was Christmas Eve. They played two legs. So they had already played the first leg the week before, and Christmas Eve, the second final was on the second game was on Christmas Eve, and they went into penalties, bro. And dude, that shit was crazy, because I didn't know there's a bunch of Tigres fans in my area, because I started hearing fireworks pop off outside my house. I was like, what the hell's going on out here, bro? Like, damn. But I guess it was that big of a deal. And even my mom, she doesn't watch a lot of soccer, and she like saw me watching this game. She's like, what the hell is this? I was like, well, this is Tigres, and that's Club America. And like, wait, they're called Tigres? I'm like, yes, they're called Tigres. I believe it's a university though. It's like, interesting. And so like literally from like a whole month after that, even going into New Year's, every time there was a celebration, my mom and I just be like, yeah, Tigres. Like, just for unironically, it was just the funniest shit ever. Especially like on New Year's, we had fireworks. And just to call back to the week before for Christmas, like, dude, this is just Christmas Eve all over again. Just go Tigres, just for no reason, bro. So yeah, I had that. That was like a fond memory of mine, and it was funnier too, because that year, I think it was 2016, going into 2016. I was a senior in high school. I recorded it on my Snapchat. We're at my relative's house, but I just like my relative's house. And it's me, like, going ballistic, and my cousin brought fireworks, and all my friends were like, Robert, were you, like, in a war or something? Why were there so many fireworks and, like, banging and clanging everywhere? Like, we were just going crazy that day. Oh, dude, good times, good times. But, yeah, is there anything else to get anything to counteract my holiday memory?
No, I have a question for you, but it might be better suited for the rundown, honestly. So,
what is it? What is it? I want to hear.
All right. So for rundown, we have MLS officially released the season schedule for the year. So, what do you think about the mid-season tournament there?
Oh no, yeah. If we're ready, yeah, we're good, man. Yeah, going into the rundown now. Thank you, Alex. The mid-season, I mean, it's the League's Cup, correct? If I am. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, we get more games. It's interesting because this is what has been rumored for the past couple of years now, because there was a hard rumor going around that they were going to like unite both leagues. It was going to be an MLS Liga MX league. But it was more weird because we didn't know how the format was going to be. We didn't know it was going to be a tournament. Like, I didn't think it was going to be a tournament. I don't think no one thought it was going to be a tournament. Everyone thought, oh, they're just going to unify. Kind of like when the AFL and the NFL came together. And it's like, all right, well, now we're just one big league. All right, I guess. But it was more interesting because if you're Liga MX, and you're collaborating with the MLS, and you're about to unify your league, how does a salary cap sound to you? Not that good. Because, wait, what? Like, what do you mean we can't spend crazy money on Gignac, Ronaldinho? The MLS would not allow that because they have a hard cap. They have a hard salary cap. So, to get to this point and hearing that it's a tournament, all right, I guess I'll take it. But also, it's in the middle of the MLS season, which I kind of don't like because, like, it makes sense in Europe to have it because they play their league games on the weekends, and then they play tournament games during the week. So you get your Open Cup games, you get UEFA Champions League, and you get your charity match games throughout the weekdays. You feel me? Like that, I feel like that makes more sense. But having it kind of smack dab in the middle where they have to kind of Mickey Mouse the schedule, I think it's okay. And in regards to the MLS schedule itself, I think that's great, bro. Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, dude, I think that's amazing because now you don't have to be like, oh, what day is you don't have to, for yourself, like, well, you don't have to be like, oh, what day is the Crew playing on? Oh, I can't watch it. It's at 3 p.m. and I'm at work. Like, come on, like, that I feel like that was ridiculous because you always had to try to find and discover where your team was playing at and at what time, and it was never consistent at all. I don't know. What do you think? Sorry if I kind of rambled on for a bit.
Yeah, I like the consistency too, where you're picking the weekdays. Some of the opening games I kind of like too. Like Columbus opens against Philly, so that'd be a good matchup. Obviously, Philly made it to the Cup and losing. Um, Columbus tied them, drew 0-0, and then they lost 1-0. But it really should have been 0-0 because our goalkeeper bobbled it was his only bobble this season. So there's that. And then FC Cincy starts at home against Houston, and then they play Orlando on the road, and then Crew's home opener is DC, which will be fun because they'll probably win that.
I mean, they got Wayne Rooney, who's had a whole couple of months now to organize, figure out what he wants as a team. So that'd be an interesting matchup because who do the Crew have now at the helm as head coach?
We have the Montreal Impact's old coach.
Oh yeah, you're right. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was like recent too, no?
Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago. It is.
And I would say he didn't do. He did a really good job with like not a lot of good players. I mean, they have Mihailovic, and I think they have. I'm forgetting the striker's name, but I feel like they didn't have a lot of. They didn't have a lot of big name players, but he did good with what they had.
Yeah.
What Nancy? Oh, Wilfred Nancy.
Wilfred Nancy. Yeah, from Montreal on. They had a good season last year. So
yeah.
And also the Hell is Real Derby games at Columbus, and then August 20th in Cincy. So.
Are you excited for those? Have you been to any of those rivalry games?
I have not. I might try to go this year. I haven't even been to a Crew game yet. I've only been to Crew 2 games. So, but
you go to Crew 2 game, dude. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like MLS Next Pro as well. They haven't released their schedule yet, so.
Oh yeah, dude, go out to a game. I heard their stadium's pretty sick.
Yeah, they just got a new one, so that'll be nice too. But
yeah. But yeah, I love the schedule. The only thing that also hurts me, and I hurt my wallet as well, is that all the games are on Apple TV.
Oh yeah.
Do you have Apple TV?
My parents do, but it doesn't affect me so much because I just pirate all the games anyways. But I did like especially a lot of the teams, and I liked the Crew's broadcasters, and a lot of people said they liked the regional broadcasts too, because I kind of liked it being on like the same platform as the other professional sports too. I liked our regional broadcasters, and then also it's like, well, it's still gonna be on ESPN, because I guess they bought some of the rights to some of the games, but they might not like cover it on like Sports Center as much. Now that's not.
Yeah, because I think they're gonna get a couple games, but I think their like main contract expired and they didn't renew it, and then also Taylor Twellman, I don't think he's working at ESPN no more. He put up a tweet like a couple weeks ago, like, "Oh, I had a good run at ESPN and yada yada yada," and it's like, okay, I guess like he's gone, So it's gonna be interesting to see how the coverage works as well. I know Fox is gonna still host some games, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting how it turns out.
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be fun. I hope they still have like the pregame shows. You wouldn't even maybe necessarily have to have it for all the teams, but at least for like the game of the week or something, you could have like a MLS rundown show or something like that. But
I feel yeah. I think they should. They might. I don't see why not. It'd be like weird just to be like, oh, we have all the games, and then like no sort of presentation of highlight reel package of a broadcast. But yeah, I like the schedule. I think it's great. Because let me see. When's the Leagues Cup break is. Oh, it doesn't even say on their website. Oh, it does. Will pause following July 15 games for the Leagues Cup play and resume on August 20th. Interesting. But yeah. Do you have anything else to add in regards to MLS schedule being introduced, announced?
Not really, but it'll also be interesting because St. Louis gets a new team this year, so
Yeah, we'll see how they pan out. I know they've already played a couple of games, so yeah, I'm excited for this season. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
Good luck to the crew.
Yeah.
They're gonna need it, bro.
Yeah, they probably will. But
The rebuilding stage.
we'll see.
But just moving. Robin?
Oh, I like Jason Russell Rowe a lot, so he'll play more.
Okay.
That's
All right, for sure.
Yeah. All right, Carlos Correa. What are your thoughts?
Bro, it's a shit show, bro. Bro, there was a quick second that he was gonna go play with the Dodgers, but that was never gonna happen. He'd be enemy number one on and off the field. Then everyone thought he was going with the Giants, but I'm pretty sure you saw that he has like a nagging leg injury, which apparently the Twins never caught on to, but okay. And now he's going to be a New York Met, which is cool, but apparently that leg is still bugging him, which it's just surprising to me that he's been playing this whole time. He seems fine. And now you're telling me that he can't play for one team because he has a leg injury, he failed a physical. Now he's going to another team in which now they're saying he might fail this physical. So it's like, what the hell, man? Like, I think it's just dumb. I don't know. What do you think?
I like baseball's contracts because they're the only ones that are given decade-long contracts out here. So
that's just weird, huh?
That's like you're never gonna play that long. I mean, I guess Correa may be good, but it's just like that's like 2036. It's kind of like wild to think about.
Yeah, you're telling me you're gonna sign this guy to like 10. Like I remember when the Dodgers signed Mookie Betts and what's like a 9-year, 12. I forget what it was, but it's like almost 10-year contract, probably even more, a little bit more than that. I can't remember on the spot, but it's like, how you guys signing these like bonker ass deals, like millions of dollars, decades worth of playing time? Like, yeah, like you're right. These guys are not gonna play that long. So it's like, dude, what? Because what were the Mets trying to sign him for? 12 years? Bruh. Dude, that's stupid. $315 million. What the fuck? Dude, I know, dude. Like, yeah. How did they do this? Is what I want to know. How do you conduct business, knowing that's going to be X amount of years and X amount of money?
Hey, banking it all on the front part.
I guess.
Like Miggy, it's kind of, and Pujols even, you kind of sluggish on the back part there, I guess you'd say.
That's true. It's because, like, I think because what it is, because you can sign players in baseball and just have them ride the bench for, like, more than half the year. But, like, there's always these, like, anomalies, like, there's, like, no, like, the named players, they get those lengthy contracts, but they get big bucks. And usually, yeah, sometimes they don't pan out.
Yeah, like Bobby Bonilla. But
oh, that's true.
It's kind of a front load sport, I guess. But it's also one of the sports where it's like you can play for a lot longer. So
that's also true. It's not like an NFL where you can sign a 3-year, 4-year contract, and I mean, like, obviously it's a heavier contact sport in which, your career can end the next day. Or same thing with soccer. You could break your leg or get a concussion. Kind of like Taylor Twellman, like, like those types of players where it's like you can't do it no more. or even basketball, same thing. Because what like the longest like most was it Vince Carter? He went like 20 some years.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. But yeah, what do you think about Correa as a player? Does he fit well with the Mets?
I mean, like you said, we'll have to see, I guess, how healthy it is. But if he's healthy, I think it's hard not to fit with the Mets because they got, they're spending a lot of money on a lot of players. So theoretically, that should make them good. So, but we'll have to see how they mesh, and then once the season starts, we'll see how healthy he is. So. I think as long as he's healthy, the Mets will be pretty good. So.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot how my mic muted. The 2023 Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series game will be between the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. The game will be broadcast on ABC and ESPN Plus in the U.S. This will be Carolina's first outdoor game, which will take place in NC State campus on February 18th. I don't watch a lot of hockey. I was just looking through what NHL news was going on. Their season's still going strong. But yeah, I just wanted to give that quick shout out to the NHL really quick. And just to wrap things up, Alex, I know you love college football, and I know we've kind of gone a little bit longer than expected. So in regards to the college football playoff, we have the VRBO Verbo Fiesta Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And in the Fiesta Bowl, we got Michigan versus TCU. Who do you think is going to win that game?
All right. So Michigan TCU, I think, will be the better of the games just because they're more even teams. I would theoretically think. I think Michigan will win. But they don't have quorum, but that didn't matter for the Ohio State game. So I'd pick Michigan to win just because TCU's almost lost so many times this year. I think Michigan's the better team. And then Georgia, Ohio State, I would have to pick Georgia because Ohio State kind of snuck in there. Yeah, they'll be motivated. But Georgia obviously has been number one the whole year and won the national championship last year. So I would go Georgia-Michigan final, and I'd probably pick Georgia as repeat champions. And just going back to the NHL thing with the outdoor stadium, First Energy Stadium, Brown Stadium, Cleveland's doing a couple outdoor games as well, where they have Ohio State versus Michigan hockey game in February, and then a AHL game with Cleveland Monsters against the Penguins AHL team in March. So I might go to one or both of those too.
Oh, yeah, man, sounds good. But who do you have it winning all in the college football playoff? If it's Georgia and Michigan,
I would have to give it to Georgia just because I think they've been the
yeah.
more dominant team all year. I would think they're going to go back-to-back likely, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Dude, that'd be crazy. But yeah, I know like I said, we're running a little bit longer than expected, but do you have anything else to add in regards to anything we've talked about today? Hello? Are you still there? Did we lose you? Hello?
Think of something fun to add.
Oh, you don't have to. I'm just asking. I always ask all my guests this question, so it's all good if you don't got nothing.
Let's see. Wait. Let's see. All right. In 2007, Jamarcus Russell attempted 66 passes, completed 36, 54 percentage, 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks. I just had a Jamarcus Russell card laying around, so there's your Jamarcus Russell fact. Right.
Oh my god! I can't believe you just did that.
Yeah. But other than that, it's been a fun runoff. So.
Oh man, thank you. Oh, dude, that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, thank you, Alex, for joining us today. If you liked listening to Rambling Runoff, if you're on YouTube, Please like the video. Please subscribe. If you're on Spotify or any other listening platform, if available, please like the podcast. If you want to hear more from us, you can hear from Rambling RunOff on Twitter at OffRambling. You can find us also on Instagram at Rambling RunOff. We also have a TikTok, so try to check that out. Alex, where can they find you on the socials?
We're at Out of Our End Zone, Spotify, Apple Music, any other podcast platforms such as like Anchor, and then Out of Our End Zone on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Alrighty, yeah. For Alex, I've been your host, Robert Rios. Thank you for listening to Rambling RunOff. We see you next time. Peace out.